What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. So in today's video, I want to talk about more of a serious topic, how to make money during a recession. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, we've been talking about a recession for years. There's no way that you can predict a recession. I want to show you guys something. It's Google Trends. If we type in recession and we look at the pre-existing history from 2004 to the present day, we can see that a recession is becoming a lot more prominent. And it almost becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because the more people that believe a recession is going to come, the more likely it is to come. More so than that, there are so many signaling factors on why a recession is much overdue. Now, a lot of people, they view a recession as a bad thing. But that's usually the people that are lower middle class or middle class themselves. People that are upper middle class or part of that 5%, they do not view a recession as anything as bad. They view a recession as a great opportunity to buy things on sale. Now, if you have a lot of money and a recession comes, stock prices are at an all-time low, and they will recover, as they have through every single recession. So if you have money, why would you view a recession as a bad thing? You wouldn't. You'd view it as an opportunity to buy a lot of different items on sale. Whether it's real estate, whether it's stock market, and buying different shares of companies, there's so many different opportunities which become available. But the problem is that people from the middle and lower class, they don't have the opportunity to use money that they have saved up to purchase these items. This is when capitalism fails. It's called favoritism. Because when these recessions happen, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So knowing that a recession is much overdue, we can look at the other signaling factors. A recession is due every 7 to 9 years. Now, it's been close to 11 years now since we have had a recession, 10 to 11 years since 2009. And another signaling factor is every time a president steps into office, the market becomes uneasy because there's a lack of confidence. When Trump stepped into the office, the market became overconfident and it even spurged up higher, and it went higher than it's supposed to without having a single pullback. This is a very bad signaling factor. I fully predict that the recession will start when the next elections come, as the market starts to get really rocky with that lack of confidence. Now, the third big signaling factor is every 75 to 100 years, there's a Great Depression. That is when the market has a recession that lasts longer than 4 quarters. That's when it turns into a depression. So a depression is not necessarily good for anybody except the most wealthy. If you would have bought anything, real estate, stocks during the Great Depression in 1933, that was the absolute greatest time to buy things, because by World War II, all of those items had started to recover exponentially. And those items at that point had made the people who had the money to afford them during that depression incredibly rich. Which is why today we're going to talk about how you can start to make money during a recession. So how can you make money during a recession? That's by starting to save up now. The more money that you have saved up now, the greater of an opportunity that it is that you'll be able to start to be able to make money when a recession comes. When a recession hits, there are several companies which will never go out of business. They've been proven to be recession proof. One of them is pizza. If you look at the companies, pizza companies, when a recession hits, yes, the stock prices get incredibly cheap, but they never go out of business. People will always order pizza. Now, the second item, I don't personally believe in this one, but it's from my economics teacher, who in 2008, 2009 started buying a lot of shares of Victoria's Secret. You can see how cheap it was and how much the growth came when the recession finished. Aside from buying stocks, the other thing which you can buy long-term and hold is real estate. One thing that's been proven is the housing rental prices, that means rents, they don't drop during recessions. If a recession comes, the amount of a decline in rental pricing is very small in comparison to everything else. Like if there's a stock, for example, that's $100, when a recession hits, such as the 2008, 2009 recession, it'll drop down to $10, $15, $20. But if there's a house and it's being rented out for $2,200 per month, when a recession hits, it'll still continue to rent between $1,900 and $2,100 per month. Except that housing price will be much cheaper to buy during a recession. So you might be thinking the market's not safe, I shouldn't be buying anything during a recession. That is the wrong mentality to have. You need to think, oh, I think a recession is going to come. I don't want to time the market, but let's take the opportunity and try and have a pool of money saved up so I can buy something. Whether it's a long-term stock that you hold on to, knowing that the company is going to recover as soon as the market starts to recover, or it's a rental property which you decide to buy into. Me personally, I bought a house which I've been renting out on Airbnb. I stopped renting out on Airbnb. It's just rented out full time, so I don't have to manage it. I just have a property manager who I'm able to pay, and they're able to take care of all the needs which need to be taken care of. Here in Mexico, it's a little bit different though. I no longer live in the United States, and I've made that very clear in a lot of different videos. I've been an expat close to 8 years now, living off my residual income from affiliate marketing. Now, this video, it was dedicated to explaining economics, more so why a recession is overdue, as well as how you can start to make money. Now, if you don't understand the economy, it's very simple. Our economy is built off of credit. What happens is when one person starts to make more money, the bank allows them to have more credit. And because they have now more spending with that credit, somebody else is making more money. And because that person starts to make more money, banks will give them more credit. Because they have more credit, they're able to spend more, and that translates into somebody else making more money. And this cycle will progressively increase, going upwards until it gets to the point that the banks increase their interest rates too high, and people start to back off from borrowing money, and they don't use credit. And a lot of people start to default on their loans. What happens then is one person is spending less, so somebody else is gaining less, and because that person is gaining less, the banks don't offer them the same line of credit which they used to before, so they start spending less, and then somebody else gains less, and then the cycle continues going back down. This is very normal. It's healthy. What's supposed to happen is the market goes up, comes down, not all the way back to where it was before. It's called the Fibonacci retracement, which means that when we have these growths and they continue going up, after it reaches a certain point, the market pulls back with a Fibonacci retracement of about 50%. Now, a recession can last very short amount of time, whether it's just a few months, or it can go on a couple of years and then it becomes a depression. But if you're somebody who has money saved up, you can take advantage of this opportunity and make a lot of money. Me personally, I've been saving up money for a long time now, waiting for this opportunity to come. I'm happy a recession is going to be here because I plan on buying so many stocks from different companies which I know are going to grow in time once the recession is over with. I also plan on buying another property. I really want to get more into rentals because I truly believe that is how you can have passive income. Not passive because you still have to deal with the human aspect, but if you have a property manager, you can pull yourself out of the situation and have them manage it and then just pay out of the gross profit to all the needs that you need to take care of. A lot of the revenue, so you're left with the gross profit. Now, the gross profit which I make, I try and save about 60% of the money that I make for these opportunities which are soon to come. And I very much advise you as well. You have time. You have probably a year to 2 years. If you're able to save up $20,000, $30,000 and you go and invest that in a stock and it increases by tenfold, you will have made close to $200,000, $300,000 in the course of 8-9 years. Now that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but at the end of the day, that's money that then you can use again when the market starts to decline, and that's how the rich get richer. Remember what we talked about? So try and take advantage of a recession by having money saved up and changing your mentality. Try and be part of the group of favoritism. Stop focusing on capitalism and think, I want to be someone who can take advantage of a recession. So that's my advice to you today. I wanted to cover the economy. I hope you guys appreciate the video. I know it's a little bit off on a tangent. It's not a topic which we normally talk about, but I wanted to show you guys on Google Trends how a recession is basically a self-fulfilling prophecy and why there are so many signaling factors which say that we are much overdue for a recession, and how you can make money from a recession by changing your mentality and viewing it as a good thing and not so much as something that's negatively going to affect you. Now, if you don't have any money saved up, you need to start creating a cash flow. You need to make a business, something that's going to make you money. Don't sit there and work for somebody else and make their dreams a possibility. And if you are, then save up almost every penny that you can make, while on the side, you are literally learning and learning so that you can create something of your own. Because this world will never favor workers. This world will favor creators. That's why you have to put in double the amount of effort if you're working a day job, and then when you go home, that's when the real work happens. I always tell my wife, there's two types of work. There's shit work, and then there's important work. Shit work is having to sit there and clean your house, sweep, mop, do the dishes, brush your teeth, take a shower, things that don't matter. And then there's important work, and that's work that gets you ahead in life, that improves your quality of living. I have a friend of mine, and he's one of the greatest SEOs that I've ever met. This guy is making millions of dollars and was a millionaire at 22 years old. I'm not going to go ahead and say his name, but him and I have been very close, and we've lived together before when we were working on our projects. And this guy would not eat, he wouldn't shower, he wouldn't brush his teeth, and I would have to come and tell him, dude, take care of yourself. And he's like, I'm working, I can't do that. And he would sit there 18 hours a day on the computer, and suddenly he'd want to write a blog post, and he'd just sit there and write away. Why? Because he finds entertainment from it. And he would rather be lazy on those other aspects doing that than if he were to sit there and have to do that work, because he views that as difficult tasks, having a cook for himself. He'd rather spend money and buy a bunch of food out, which I'm not against that either. I love eating out, and I do it almost every day, and it is big waste of money, considering that no matter what level of life you are, you should still try and be frugal, because that's a way of life. Look at Warren Buffett. He's a billionaire, and his wife still puts $1.71, $2.63, or $3.61, I can't remember the exact amounts, inside of his cup holder in his car, so every morning he can wake up and go to McDonald's. He lives in like Nebraska, in a very small town, and still goes to the same McDonald's and gets a breakfast depending on the amount of money that his wife leaves him. He's a billionaire. Look how frugal he's living. So don't be judgmental when people with money start to talk about being frugal, because that is a way of life. Now guys, if you appreciate this video, I appreciate you guys. I simply ask, just smash that like button, as it helps the channel to continue grow, and subscribe if you like the content which we talk about. We're all about how to make money online, affiliate marketing, SEO, and getting involved on those side hustles and passion projects which eventually become our main projects and our main source of income, and change our life, as we're no longer having to work for anybody and we only work for ourselves. Guys, if you like the video, go ahead and leave a comment. If there's any questions that you have, I will answer them in detail. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you guys and hope you're having a wonderful day.